Alcoholics always say they're going to get sober tomorrow. Politicians always say they're going to deal with the national debt after the next election. Of course, they never do, which is what Trump and Biden will both say tomorrow night. If they're even asked about it, at some point, nobody even talks about it anymore. Republicans used to pay it lip service, not so much. In fact, Trump added $8.4 billion to the national debt. Biden, about half of that. So it's a problem for both. Joe Penland joins us. Businessman from Texas, if you can't tell by the hat. He's spending millions of his own dollars to try and get Americans to care about what our politicians won't. Welcome to the program. Thank you.
Thank you.
You think you got a shot at this?
I think so. Absolutely. America's tired. You know, the government's grown too big. It's promised too much, subsidizes too many. And America's tired of it, and they've had enough. And somebody needs to bring it to their attention, and that's what Joe from Texas is doing.
Okay, JoeFromTexas.com is the website, which I think is hilarious, because when you look at the website, it looks like you're running for office, but you're not.
Absolutely not. Ross Perot did that in the 90s. He was a fellow Texan. The difference between Ross Perot and me is billions of dollars, and I don't want to be president of the United States, but I'm sick and tired of the 338 million Americans taking it on the chin.
Okay, so 338 million Americans are taking it on the chin. That would require either presidential candidate to care about something other than the culture wars and deal with something serious. It would also require the media to deal with something serious. How are you going to change that?
Well, we had good meetings today, one with the Speaker and one with Tom Emmert and a bunch of other congressmen. And they're really more on the page than what America thinks they are. We get this election behind us, I think things are going to change for America. They have to. You know, we'll be $36 trillion in debt when this president finishes his first term. You know, we had $4 trillion when Ross Perot was going to run. And you just do the math. That's 9 times. America can't take any more.
You know, it's funny. The last meaningful exchange about the national debt in a presidential election was 1992. And you're right. I was in the audience. I was 10 years old. And I was sitting there, and I remember the question to George H.W. Bush, who glossed over it and completely flubbed. And then Bill Clinton started talking about the economy. And since then, no politician's ever done anything about this. We put that graphic up. Trump, $8.4 trillion. Biden, $4.3 trillion. Republicans always talk about tax cuts. And then if there is any money left over, Democrats go spend it on, as you said, entitlement programs. Donald Trump has specifically said, I will not touch Social Security and Medicare. You cannot fix the problem you're talking about without that.
Well, you have to fix Social Security. I know people don't want to touch that. That's supposed to be the rail that puts everybody away. But you got 68 million Americans on Social Security today. How do you leave them out in the cold? That's un-American, and guess what? It's a large voting bloc. I'd be paying more attention to them if I was running for president.
Right, but neither candidate is, and nobody wants to hear about their benefits being cut. They just want to be promised things, right?
Well, the benefits will be cut in 9 years. The Peterson Foundation has already put out their information. The Social Security will be insolvent in 9 years. We have to do something about that. It's going to be done, but what we got to do is get past this election where nobody has to worry about the re-election.
So in other words, what you're thinking is there's going to be a lame duck president either way, and then one of these guys might actually do the right thing.
I think one of them is capable of doing the right thing. I question whether the other one is.
All right. Do you care to say which one?
Well, I think Donald Trump's still plenty sharp. You know,
okay.
And I think he's got the backbone to do it.
Right, but when given the opportunity, he cut taxes, did absolutely nothing to touch Social Security or Medicare or deal with spending when he was president. He added more to the debt than anybody else.
Well, he did add some money to the debt. There's no two ways about it. But if you want to go back to when we talked about Ross Perot and Bill Clinton got elected, you know, they balanced the budget 4 times because Newt Gingrich was there, and they made a contract with the American people, and they stood by it. And that's where this contract's out there. I want millions of people to sign on this contract so I can talk to one of the president candidates, hopefully Donald Trump, and say, hey, if you want to get elected, here's 7 million people that say they'll vote for you, and you better pay attention to that 68 million. I can't tell the president what to do, but I'd pay attention.
Hey, a man who's willing to put his money where his mouth is. Thank you.
God bless.
We need more people like you who care about America.
I'll leave this with you.
Thank you, sir. Good to see you.